All right, guys, welcome into another episode. We are going to get right into this. President Donald Trump is meeting with Ukraine President Zelensky today in the Oval Office. Obviously, we know that Donald Trump met with Vladimir Putin, which he got a lot of pushback for, but I just think that he gets a pushback for anything. I mean, meeting with someone like Putin is obviously very controversial, but met with him and he said he had a great conversation. So obviously, because Ukraine President Zelensky was not there, there was no peace talks agreed to. Obviously, both parties have to be in the room. So I think it's another step of Donald Trump's great presidency over here. He met with Putin, very controversial man, and he's meeting with Zelensky today. So we're going to see what the talks are about, what they discussed, if anything has been done, anything has been agreed upon. I'm still waiting on Putin and Zelensky to somehow shake hands. I don't know if that's possible or not, but Zelensky wants to be, that's like his main point of being a sovereign nation and not having to worry about any more attacks from Russia. So we will see what's going on. I am excited. Let's go.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have the president of Ukraine with us. We've had a lot of good discussions, a lot of good talks. And I think progress is being made, very, very substantial progress in many ways. We had a good meeting, as you know, just a short while ago with the president of Russia. And I think there's a possibility that something could come out of it. And today's meeting is very important. We have, I guess, the seven very powerful leaders from Europe. And we're going to be meeting with them right after this meeting. And thank you very much for being here.
Thanks so much, Mr. President. If I can, first of all, thank you for invitation and thank you very much for your efforts, personal efforts to stop killings and stop this war. Thank you. And using this opportunity, many thanks to your wife, First Lady of the United States. She sent a letter to Putin about our children, abducted children, and my wife, First Lady of Ukraine. She gave the letter. It's not to you, to your wife.
Oh, I want it.
Yeah. So we're saying it's a sensitive topic. Yeah, please. And thanks to our partners and that you supported this format. That after our meeting we can have leaders who are around us, UK and France, Germany, Italy, Finland, EU, NATO. I mean, all partners around Ukraine supporting us. Thanks to them. And thank you very much for invitation.
Thank you very much for being here.
President Trump.
Yes, Peter, go
Thank
ahead.
you, President Trump. So, President Zelensky, you say in a post on X today, Russia must end this war, which it itself started.
Real quick, though, look how tense he is. This guy is super tense. Zelensky knows that Donald Trump is not Biden whatsoever. The last time Zelensky was in the Oval Office, Donald Trump kicked him out of the Oval Office. So he is very tense right now. He's not all smiley and lovey-dovey like he was with Biden, because Biden is obviously giving him billions of taxpayer dollars. So we're going to see where this goes.
President Trump, you say President Zelensky of Ukraine can end the war with Russia almost immediately if he wants to, which is it?
Yeah, I think that's true. I think we're going to have a meeting. I think if everything works out well today, we'll have a trilat. And I think there will be a reasonable chance of ending the war when we do that.
And is this the end of the road for American support for Ukraine? Is today's meeting deal or no deal?
I can never say that. It's never the end of the road. People are being killed and we want to stop that. So I would not say it's the end of the road. No, I think we have a good chance of doing it. It's been almost 4 years now that a lot of people were killed last week. A lot of people last week, I mean, millions of people killed, but a lot of people last week for whatever reason, a big number, a lot of soldiers, on both sides. And I know the president, I know myself, and I believe Vladimir Putin wants to see it ended.
And as you met with Putin on Friday, so you've got President Zelensky here, as you listen to Russia and Ukraine, which side has the better cards? Right?
Well, I don't want to say that. I'm just here.
I don't know how this is going to go. See, we already know that Zelensky has been kicked out the Oval Office the last time he was there. Putin wants it done, but Zelensky, to me, he seems like he's very hard at it. I know he said he doesn't want any talks unless he's a sovereign nation, full contract sign, handshake, sovereign nation, doesn't have to want to deal with Ukraine anymore. I don't know how that's going to go with Putin. I don't know how much land Zelensky is going to want to give up. I know obviously Vladimir Putin wants to make sure that he has a dominant piece of it, but I don't know. Zelensky, to me, look at him. He just looks so upset right now. He doesn't look like it. I'm so happy the piece is almost done. He's not cheers and happy, like go lucky like he was with Biden, because Biden just literally agreed to whatever he wanted, gave him billions of dollars of taxpayer dollars for U.S. taxpayers. So he's not happy right now. I don't think that I think he knows that he's going to have to concede a lot in order to get this peace deal done. So we will see, but he does not look happy right now.
To be, look, this isn't my war. This is Joe Biden's war. He's the one that had a lot to do with this happening, and we want to get it ended. And we want it to end good for everybody. We want it to end good. The people of Ukraine have suffered incredibly.
President Zelensky, are you prepared to keep sending Ukrainian troops to their deaths for another couple years, or are you going to agree to redraw the maps?
Thank you for your question. So, first of all, we live under each day attacks. That today have been a lot of attacks and a lot of wounded people, and the child was dead, small one year and a half. So we need to stop this war, to stop Russia, and we need support, American and European partners. And we will do our best for this. So, and I think we show that we are strong people, and we supported the idea of the United States, of personally of President Trump, to stop this war, to make a diplomatic way of finishing this war. And we are ready for trilateral, as President said. It's a good signal about trilateral. I think this is very good. Thank you.
Mr. President,
if the peace deal will be achieved, if the peace deal will be achieved, are you going to be willing to send American peacekeepers to Ukraine?
Well, we're going to work with Ukraine. We're going to work with everybody, and we're going to make sure that if there's peace, the peace is going to stay long term. This is very long term. We're not talking about a 2-year peace, and then we end up in this mess again. We're going to make sure that everything's good. We'll work with Russia. We're going to work with Ukraine. And we're going to make sure it works. And I think if we can get to peace, it's going to work. I have no doubt about it.
Your team has talked about security guarantees. Could that involve U.S. troops? Would you rule that out in the future?
We'll let you know that maybe later today. We're meeting with 7 great leaders of great countries also, and we'll be talking about that. They'll all be involved, but there'll be a lot of help when it comes to security. There's going to be a lot of help.
Okay, so those European leaders, this is what I think is going to happen. Those European leaders are clearly on the side of Zelensky. I think they're going to tell Zelensky, don't do this, don't concede anything. You should be a sovereign nation, blah, blah, F Russia, pretty much. I think that's the reason why he's brought all those 7 European leaders over there. They're on Zelensky's side, 100%. And, Vladimir Putin doesn't care what those EU leaders think. He doesn't give a crap. I think he only will probably somewhat listen to Donald Trump. At the same time, Vladimir Putin is a controversial guy in his own opinion. I don't think that Zelensky is gonna want to concede, and Vladimir Putin says, hey, if you don't concede, then this war is going to continue. Obviously, we can't keep funding this war. We can't keep giving billions of dollars to Ukraine or with the equipment or anything like that, or any type of military aid. This war has to end now. But I think the only thing holding it up is Zelensky. I think that he's so used to Biden giving him whatever he wants to, and Trump's like, look, dude, I'm not giving you anything. We've already given you billions of dollars. Time for this war to end. You're not getting any more taxpayer U.S. dollars. So I think that's why Zelensky looks so pissed off right now.
Good. They are first line of defense because they're there. They're Europe. But we're going to help them out also. We'll be involved.
Yes. Vladimir Putin mentioned that the war will not end without addressing the root causes of this war. Have you had an understanding what are the root causes of this war?
Well, look, the war is going to end. When it ends, I can't tell you, but the war is going to end, and this gentleman wants it to end, and Vladimir Putin wants it to end. I think the whole world is tired of it, and we're going to get it ended. It was, I've done 6 wars. I've ended 6 wars, and I thought this maybe would be the easiest one, and it's not the easiest one. It's a tough one. A lot of reasons for it. And they'll be talking about it for a long time, but they'll be talking about the others. Look, India, Pakistan, we're talking about the big places. When you look at You just take a look at some of these wars. You go to Africa and take a look at that. Rwanda and the Congo, Republic of the Congo. That's been going on for 31 years. And so we've done a total of 6, and we really have 6, not including the fact that we obliterated, and it turned out to be a total obliteration, the nuclear, as you said, the future nuclear capability of Iran. And this one, I think we're going to get solved also. I feel confident we're going to get it solved.
Like guarantees or like the special envoy put forward.
Thank you, Mr. President. Can you tell us about your conversations with European leaders and what they need to see to support an end to the war?
Yeah, well, we're going to be meeting with a great representative group and 7 very powerful, very big countries and great people, all friends of mine and friends of yours. And we're going to have some suggestions made. They want to see peace. They would like to see peace.
Guys, look at his face right now. He is so unhappy. This guy is not going to want to concede anything. And I think that's what he had to realize. I think this is why his face looks so pissed off right now. He is disastrous. Look at this face. He knows that he's going to have to concede a lot of land to Russia or something like that in order to get this deal done. I don't know how this is gonna play out. You know, Donald Trump is obviously, the mediator. He doesn't have to be involved whatsoever. I think he's already made it very clear that you're not gonna get any more taxpayer dollars. So this is gonna be all on you now. And Zelensky's not gonna want to hear that because he had many trips over to the White House, and Joe Biden and Kamala gave him whatever he wanted. So he's gonna have to concede. He can't continue to fight Russia. Russia can keep going as long as they want to, but Zelensky knows. Look at him; he's tired. He's not trying to fight anymore, so he's going to have to just give up.
In the red.
President Trump, do you think it's fair for Ukraine and for Russia to achieve a lasting and durable peace if Ukraine concedes its territories that Russia hasn't yet conquered? Do you think it's a fair peace for Ukraine?
We're going to have a lasting peace. Just to answer the first part of your question, we're going to have a lasting peace. I hope it's going to be immediately. I hope it doesn't have to go on. And I think people in the whole world is going to be very happy when that's announced. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, you posted on social media, Mr. President, a very touching letter.
I think that's very optimistic on Donald Trump's part. I don't think it's going to be a lasting peace whatsoever. I think this is going to be a temporary peace, no matter what they say, what Zelensky or Putin says. I do not think this is going to be a lasting peace. So that's very optimistic on Donald Trump's part.
From the First Lady, and the letter was hand-delivered to President Putin. And it calls for an end to the war, essentially, because of the children's future. Why did the First Lady feel that letter was necessary? Was it because she believes that Mr. Putin is the aggressor in the war? Is a similar letter being hand-delivered to President Zelensky?
So the First Lady felt very strongly. She's watched the same thing that you watch and that I watch. I see things that you don't get to see, and it's horrible. But when she's got a great love of children, she has a wonderful son that she loves, probably more than anybody, including me. I hate to say it, but she loves her son. She loves children, and she hates to see something like this happening. And that goes for other wars too. I mean, she sees the heartbreak, the parents, the funerals that you see on television. Always funerals. We want to see something other than funerals. No, she felt it was a beautiful letter. It was very well received by him, and she did ask me to say, she would love to see this end. She would love to see it end, and she says it very openly, very proudly, and with great sorrow because so many people have been killed.
Last week,
Brian, go ahead, Brian.
Yes, sir. I've got a question for each of you.
Yep.
All right, guys. So we're just going to keep monitoring this whole situation. Obviously, there's not going to be any peace deal done. You can tell by the look at his face. He's not going to get anything done that he wants to. So we're going to see within the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, if they can get this thing done. The European leaders are in town. There's, I believe, 7 of them. And again, I think they're all on Zelensky's side. I think they're going to be in his ear telling him, hey, don't concede whatsoever. You can hold out. You're a sovereign nation. Russia shouldn't be telling you what to do or whatever. They shouldn't be, putting their foot on your neck, blah, blah, whatever the case may be. So I, after looking at this meeting and seeing the look on Zelensky's face, I don't think that there's going to be any long-term peace deal. I think Donald Trump is very optimistic on that. I think that he wants that, but I don't think there's going to be a long-term peace deal. You know, I think this is going to be temporary. It might be a year or two, and then the fighting is going to start again. So there's nothing that shows me that Zelensky is happy about anything. You know, obviously Donald Trump and him talked before they went to this press conference. So I don't think there's going to be anything done, to be honest with you.
First of all, Mr. President Zelensky, you look fabulous in that suit.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, you look good.
I said the same thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice? That's the one that attacked you last time. See, now he's.
I remember that.
I will. No, my first question for you, President
But you
Zelensky.
are in the same suit.
I think
You see, I changed, you are not.
Maybe yours is much better. Real quickly, upon peace, God willing to get peace, are you open to holding an election in your country?
Yes, of course. We are open for election, yes. We have to do safety circumstances. And a little bit, we need to work in the parliament, because during the war you can't have elections, but we can do security. We need, maybe, how to say, we need a truth, yes, everywhere, the battlefield, in the sky, and the sea, yeah, to make possible for people to do democratic, open, legal elections.
So you say
we are ready.
during the war, you can't have elections. So let me just say 3.5 years from now, so you mean if we happen to be in a war with somebody, no more elections? Oh, that's good. I wonder what the
Like this idea.
Speaking of news, I got a question for you. This sounds insane for me even to ask.
All right, guys. So again, it's obviously going to be up to Zelensky. You know, I think Putin wants this war to be done. Donald Trump wants this war to be done. It's going to be up to Zelensky. The ball's in his court. You know, he already said, Donald Trump already made it very clear that because Zelensky could end this war today if he wanted to. He's probably not wanting to because he probably knows he has to concede whatever, you know, demands. But again, you know, I think Donald Trump is very optimistic. I think that Donald Trump wants this war to end more than anybody. But if you look at this whole entire meeting in the Oval Office, there's not one clear sign from Zelensky's face, his reaction, his body language whatsoever, that he is going to be happy or that he wants this war to end, because I know that he's going to have to concede a lot of stuff. So we will see in the next coming days, weeks, what's going to happen. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. I'm out of here.